At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome into Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago each and every day right here on Westwood One Sports. We are on the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Abdalla, we have preseason action tonight. We'll talk about that as the show goes along. And also, we had news yesterday in the NFL for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We talked Buccaneers football yesterday. Vita Vea has signed. He has a new deal, 1 year, $30 million. He's in the mix. He was holding in. He made it very clear he was not going to practice. He wasn't even wearing the team gear on the sidelines throughout these practices that he was holding in at. He gets his money 1 year for the Buccaneers, and that's the news yesterday out of the NFL.
Yeah, he gets $6 million tacked on to this year. He gets an extra year tacked on to the contract, so he's got an extra year in Tampa, and he gets $24 million next year, a total of $30 million guaranteed for Vita Vea. He had 4.5 sacks last year and 13 quarterback hits as a defensive tackle, but he's got a 65.5% pass rush win rate versus double teams, which is the 9th best in the league last year. For a 31-year-old, that dude is still getting it done. He's one of the best in the NFL, and it is imperative that the Bucs get him out there. And you still got enough time. I mean, look, it's not like the season starts tomorrow. We're still under 3 weeks. We're just under 3 weeks away from the opening game Wednesday night between the Seahawks and the Patriots. So there's still enough time to get Vita Vea into game shape and get him ready and get him out there. It's not like a guy like that needs preseason snaps or anything like that in game action. He'll be ready for week 1 as the Bucs get ready for their season opener. And I think it's good that they got this deal done. It shows that they're willing to work with players, and 2 of their most important players. One of those dominoes has fallen in Vita Vea, a very large domino of a defensive tackle, a very large domino.
True.
And now,
True.
We know that, Baker Mayfield does not want to negotiate during the training camp and during the season. Does that change if the right offer comes his way? We'll see. But as of right now, we know that Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are not doing any negotiating. He's going to play. He's participating in training camp. He's participating in the preseason. He's going to play this season on the final year of his deal. But look, if the right deal comes to his agent, is he going to say no? Is he going to just shut off communication completely? That would be bad business to me. That's just bad business.
Sure. I mean, look at both players in the situations. They took different approaches. So Baker Mayfield showed up. He was there in camp. He voiced his opinion. He said he was unhappy, felt disrespected, but he's there. He's the captain. He's the quarterback. They've got training camp. They need to get things right for the season. A lot rides on the shoulders of Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. Vita Vea was there, but holding in, not participating, just waiting. Is Baker Mayfield essentially to get what he wants? Is that the right approach? Because I feel like as a teammate, it's the right approach for Baker Mayfield. For himself, if he wanted the money, the effective way to get this done would be to do what Vita Vea did and hold in.
I think there's 2 different...
But like it's difficult to suggest that of a quarterback because the entire offense runs on the idea that you are developing the connection,
that's the point,
the chemistry with your first team offense.
Mm-hmm. I think it depends on the team, right? Like if this was the Rams and this was Matthew Stafford and you've got Adams and Puka Nacua and you don't have a bunch of new wide receivers and this is the same system that you've been running for the last couple of years with the same wide receivers and the same tight ends and the same offensive line and everybody's the same, like, could Matthew Stafford hold out? Could he not participate? I mean, look, last year he was dealing with a bad back. He was in and out of training camp. He was in and out of practice. Like, he didn't participate a lot. And it was fun. They went to the NFC Championship game. They were a few plays away from going to the Super Bowl. So it didn't really matter. He wasn't holding out for a contract or anything like that. There was some contract things going on with him early in the season and early in this offseason and stuff like that. But there was never a holdout or a hold in or anything like that from Matthew Stafford. But we've seen some quarterbacks be able to miss time and then just jump right in. Like Patrick Mahomes isn't participating in preseason games, but he's participating in training camp and in practice and all of that. So I think if Baker Mayfield really wanted to make a point and say, I want my money, he could do that. However, with losing Mike Evans, with bringing in some new guys, trying to prove that he can go and win this division again, something that he's done before with this team, not last year, but in years before, take this team to the playoffs like he's done before and prove that to other teams, because he might not be a member of the Bucs after this season, you got to go out there and play. You got to go out there and do what Joe Flacco did the year that he bet on himself for the Ravens. And the Ravens ended up having to give him a boatload of money.
Yeah, and what's funny about it is you look at the 2 paths that the 2 star players for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers took here in training camp, right? Like Baker Mayfield, disgruntled, shows up, says there's a deadline. The deadline wasn't met, still in camp, getting ready for the season. And to Abdalla's point, he needs to play and needs to play well to hopefully get a contract in the future. Vita Vea not only was holding in, made a trade request. Mm-hmm. And remember when we broke the news that the trade request was made, how the reaction from this show was? The reaction from this program was, that happens in the NFL. Watch. By the start of the season, he'll get a new deal. And he'll be playing for the Buccaneers.
And sure enough.
And what happened? We still have a couple weeks left of camp. He's got a new deal. Mm-hmm. He's playing for the Bucs. He's got the cash. The trade request demand in the NFL does not hold the same weight that the trade request demand in the NBA holds.
No.
Like in the NBA, when you make the trade request, that's it.
Yeah.
You have burned all of the bridges with all of your teammates in that locker room. Fewer players, bigger egos.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, it doesn't matter. Like, do you think Buccaneers players really care that a week ago Vita Vea said that he wanted out?
No, because they know.
No, they don't care. They know how it works.
No, because
in the NBA, it's a problem.
No, because
right?
NFL fans.
You have to move Giannis somewhere in the offseason because he made a trade demand, right? Like, that's how the NBA works. In football, players say it, and it helps with leverage to get their money.
Yeah.
But it was obvious that he was going to stick with Tampa Bay.
And NFL fans know that it's on the ownership, right? NFL fans, no one is saying Vita Vea needs to stop asking for more money and get out there and play. Every Buccaneers fan was saying, pay Vita Vea, pay Baker Mayfield. Like, I don't think there's a Bucs fan out there that, and if you are, please let us know, that's saying, no, don't pay Baker Mayfield, move on, sign another quarterback, draft another quarterback, reset, fire Bowles, get rid of everybody. Maybe you want to move on from Todd Bowles. I could understand that. But moving on from Baker Mayfield is a different story. Like, if you are out there and you want to completely tank the season, I don't think that's in the cards for the Bucs, because I think you have a chance to win the division, even if it is at 8 or 9 games.
Yeah.
Because this division just isn't that very good. And you could see a situation just like last year where you've got a bunch of teams packed together at 8 wins and you've got to go down to tiebreakers to try to find a winner in this division, just like we saw last season that ended up with the Panthers going to the playoffs and as the winner of this division. And I could totally see that happening again.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. If you want to join the show, you can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. We have preseason action tonight. The Raiders at the Texans, 8 Eastern. That game's on ESPN TV. The 49ers at the Chargers, 10 Eastern. That game's on NFL Network. So both networks carrying games tonight, so you can watch some football this evening. And obviously, the most notable part of the 2 games for tonight in the preseason, Fernando Mendoza for the Raiders. Looked good in his first outing. Is expected to see more time and lots of Fernando Mendoza tonight for the Raiders against the Texans.
Yeah, more Mendoza, the better for the Raiders. And I think, you'll probably see Cousins out there for the same amount of time. He'll probably get a series again. They held joint practices again this week and between the Raiders and the Texans. And the plan originally was to have the Texans start. And then D'Amico Ryans came out yesterday and said, we got our work in, starters aren't going to play. So you're not going to see the defensive starters, which is probably the most important as far as the Raiders are concerned.
Yeah.
You're not going to see those guys out there. So you'll probably see Cousins for a series again. And then the bulk of the time will be Fernando Mendoza. And he'll get a chance once again to prove that he should be making a case to start week 1. What we saw last week in the first preseason game, to me, there was no reason to say this guy's not ready. This guy should be sitting. You can make the case to say that the Raiders shouldn't change their plan, that he didn't have anything that like there was wow factor and he didn't light the world on fire or anything like that. But there was no reason to say this guy isn't ready and shouldn't be starting week 1. He didn't make any mistakes. He didn't look like he looked like a rookie. There was some, hesitant throws. There was some flushing out of the pocket. There was stuff like that.
Took a couple big hits.
But that's fine. It was his first preseason game. But there was nothing. There was no big mistakes. There was no turnovers. I mean, we saw Cam Ward have a bad intentional grounding penalty. We saw Tua have a fumble on his first play. Like, we saw some bad mistakes from some younger and some veteran quarterbacks that you shouldn't see. I didn't see that from Fernando Mendoza. And if he continues to play like that, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be starting him.
Well, and then on top of it, you mentioned the joint practice throughout the week. The reviews from the joint practices is that he's playing well.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it is we've gotten reviews from quarterbacks from the joint practices this week where they have not looked good. Tua Tagovailoa being one of those quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts being one of those quarterbacks. So there are quarterbacks out there who are not playing well in these joint practices. Fernando Mendoza, by all accounts, seems to be okay. And you're right. In the first outing, 10 of 16, 97 yards, a touchdown, quarterback rating of 100. Looked pretty good. And you're right. It's not that he was setting the world on fire in his first preseason action, but he's good enough to start for the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And it's good enough to start building forward because, as you just mentioned, there were situations where he looked a little unsure, a little shaky, but that's fine. That's a part of the learning process of being a rookie quarterback. So tonight will be exciting to see how much play, how much run Mendoza gets, and to see if he builds upon what we saw last week, going 10 for 16, 97 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and I think it'll be exciting to watch because we saw he can be a dynamic player. He can run. He's, 6'5". He can use his body when he needs to. When he is flushed out of the pocket, it's not like the play just ends and he runs out of bounds or goes to slide. He can make plays with his legs. He can extend plays and move outside of the pocket and use his arm to throw. Like, he can move the ball down the field. And we saw that. And I think the more familiar he gets with this offense, because this defense is going to be bad, I think you're going to see another situation where this defense, it just looks bad. And even more of a reason why we go week and week and week where trade Max Crosby.
It's every day.
Trade Max Crosby.
It's not a week in and week out situation. It's every day it comes up where you say that the Raiders should trade Crosby.
Trade Max Crosby. We're another trade Max Crosby yesterday. Trade him 2 days ago. Why is he still on this roster? Like, come on, guys. Why are we doing this? That's the one thing, and it has nothing to do with the offense. It has everything to do with the defense. You're seeing a quarterback develop and a timeline happen where you've got the same situation that the Browns had, where you've got Myles Garrett that's on a completely different trajectory. Max Crosby should be on a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
He should be in a position to win a ring. The Raiders aren't in any position to win a ring for the next 2 to 3 years at least. At least. Trade him somewhere. The offers have to be coming in. You can't tell me that nobody's calling.
Well, and we mentioned yesterday how Jerry Jones is still open to the idea that they could make a move before the start of the season. So you always have that in the back of your mind, whether or not that could take place, that the Cowboys could go after Max Crosby. They've added a lot of talent defensively, but they also know they had one of the worst defenses in football last year. 32nd in points given up per game last season for the Cowboys. So would that make sense? There's a few other spots where you could see it, but you're right. Max Crosby with the Raiders does not really make a lot of sense for this season. And Fernando Mendoza not getting the start also doesn't really make a lot of sense. It seems to be the way that their team's set up. And the only way you could argue that Bleck and Abdalla are wrong is if this team was ready and primed to surprise people. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the case with the Raiders for this season.
Well, look, you can even make the case. You want to give me the 3 scenarios in the league because everybody does it. Aaron Rodgers sat. Patrick Mahomes sat. All these guys, look, Tom Brady, all these guys sat. Okay. Jaden Daniels took his team to an NFC championship game in his rookie year. So even if this team was ready to win now, I'll throw Jaden Daniels at your face.
Oh, easy.
I mean, I don't know if I could pick him up and physically throw him at your face. He might throw a cease and desist back at me. So I don't want him to do that.
Just don't do it 5 times.
What is with players in season? We've had 2 seasons now.
Whatever you do, don't do it 5 times.
We've had two different players in different leagues with cease and desists now this year. I'm waiting on the MLB. Can we get an MLB player with a cease and desist? Come on, Major League Baseball, you're lacking. So there's no, even if the Raiders were ready to compete, I would say Fernando Mendoza gives you a better chance to win than Kirk Cousins because he's a more dynamic of a player. He might not be like ready and seen more football and all that kind of stuff, but when the pocket collapses, who can escape and give you a better chance to move the ball down the field? It's Fernando Mendoza.
It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. What happened to the game we loved? This next story we're going to tell you about infuriates me. Absolutely infuriates me. We'll explain that coming up next. This summer, the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That includes all markets.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. $50 in rewards issued every 7 days via click to claim for 14 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state. Terms at dkng.co/offer. Limited time offer.
Where will the balance of power in the AFC lie? The Bills and Ravens have new coaches. Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix are coming off injuries. The Patriots face a first-place schedule. The regular season kicks off in less than 3 weeks. We're ready. Are you? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We're going to need some help with this one. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. This infuriates me. Several players who signed contracts with NFL teams this summer were granted a temporary restraining order by a Louisiana court that would make them eligible to return to college football. You get this? You get what I'm saying here? There
don't.
There are multiple players who played college football last year, signed contracts, deals with teams this summer, and they're either not going to make a team, they're just it doesn't look like they're going to be a starter or whatever their situation is. And they are trying to return to college football for a fifth season. What the hell are we doing? No, seriously. What is this? Grow up. Move on. Carry on with your life.
Movie's over.
Why have we created college football as this catch-all for individuals to just stick with for 10 years? Remember, who was the Miami tight end from last season who was in college football for 7+ years? He was older than 6 different quarterbacks that were starting for teams in the NFL.
He had a family and a mortgage, and
he also had the COVID year. He had a redshirt year because of injury.
Yeah,
a couple other things thrown in there, and he was playing college football. He was 27.
Yeah,
go start your life, man.
That is his life. You got to understand that these are jobs. We can say go get a job.
This is stupid. Now
here's the thing. You can say go get a job. Go get a job. Go get a job. These guys sign contracts with these NFL teams. They get cut. Those contracts are null and void. Okay.
TJ Harden played for the Seahawks in their preseason game.
Yeah, and then
he's now going back to he's in the college football portal
because he's going to get his ass cut by the NFL. And guess what? He's in the portal.
What the hell?
He's going to go to a team in college and he's going to get himself a nice NIL deal, and that's a job. That is a paying job.
No, man, this is stupid.
That is. It's a job.
It's a joke.
It's a job.
Now. Okay, it's a job. It's stupid now.
Okay.
Then we can't call it college football anymore.
You created
it. It needs to be
y'all
something
that wanted to pay the players.
Oh, jeez.
Y'all created this. Y'all wanted to pay the players.
Are you channeling Dabo Sweeney?
Y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted to pay the players. I'm still waiting for Dabo to go run a car dealership. Still waiting. Still waiting. Look it up. Do yourself a Google. Google the quote from Dabo Sweeney that said if players ever get paid, he would go run a car dealership. Still waiting, Dabo. He might be doing it at the end of this year. Who knows?
Is it going to be like one of those car dealerships in Breaking Bad? Maybe move some money,
moving some money around.
Yeah, clean it.
He might be after this season. Who knows? They're not going to be very good. But yeah, listen, this is the age of NIL because these players that were good enough to maybe make NFL teams are great enough to get back to college football and get a sweet NIL deal. And that's a job for a year, man.
But you understand my point. My point is this. Here's how it should work. And I understand there's there's exceptions for every rule.
Mm-hmm.
And there's exceptions for every situation. If you are a kid and you have a really, really bad injury and you lose a year of eligibility,
Of course.
I don't have a problem with granting that 4th year as your 5th year of college.
Yeah.
I understand that. Anything past that, move on with your life. You should not be in college unless you're really dumb for more than 4 years.
Hey, leave us alone, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, no offense, but like who is it? Van Wilder?
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer?
Yeah.
Like his thing is like he was there forever.
Yeah.
Like that, he was like the ultimate school party dude.
Yeah.
But like, unless you're that guy.
Yeah. Which is just sad at a certain point.
Right, exactly. Like, move on with your life.
But
What is
here's
this?
the thing.
Because did you see the Diego Pavia?
Yeah.
He
was signed by the Ravens.
He was out there trying. The Ravens release him, and then he's out there saying that he's going to go back to school. And it's like, what? No, you're done. You played your college football. Move on with your life. You're not good enough for the NFL. Sorry, pal.
Mm-hmm.
Go do something else. There are great careers out there in the world.
Yeah.
You can work in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
We can help you. We could look them up for you. That's what the Bleck Abdalla show can do.
we can find jobs for these people.
Yeah. College football players, instead of trying in the NFL and going back to school, call the Bleck Abdalla show and we'll hook you up with an idea.
Okay.
Something you can do with your life.
You can text the show 310-840-4910. A text from the 251 in Alabama, Roll Tide. Simply, game's gone.
The game is gone, man. It is. And it infuriates me. It is not like, what the hell are we talking about? That you're signing a contract with an NFL team and because you can't cut it, you're going back to school?
Okay, what would you rather do? Okay, because you see these commercials all the time, right? You see the commercials for what you can do after college. You're not going to make an NFL team, okay? So you can either enter the workforce or you could go and play football again and make money.
Well, like this
what
is
do you want to do?
Okay, but this is what irritates me. You already got the money. You got cash. You probably, if you're good enough to at least try out for an NFL team, you probably got NIL deals.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to pay for your school, likely. Right? You probably were on scholarship. Like, you already have a head start in life. So to suggest, like, what are you going to do? Go do anything. Like, that's what I don't understand about this. It's infuriating to me.
I understand that, and I agree with you. However, I'm looking at it from the player's perspective as saying, instead of entering the workforce, I could go back and play. I can go back and play football for a year. I can go ball for another year.
I went to college. It was great. College is awesome. But at some point, you have to grow up.
Yeah,
you have to move on with your life.
You were sitting in a studio with me at Columbia. You don't want to do that for another year. You had to do that for the last 20 years.
What a mistake.
You haven't graduated yet. We're still doing this.
To be fair, I probably should have gone back.
We're still doing this.
To be fair, I probably should have done that.
We're still getting paid for that. We were paying to do that. Now we're getting paid to do it.
I don't know if we've really talked about it since we started in January here on the show, but the Bleck Abdalla show started as a college radio show.
I think it started at a high school math class, actually.
Well, yeah, we went to high school together as well, but our first radio show was a college radio show that was a wacky morning drive show. It was a wacky morning radio show. We get this. If you're familiar with 90s sitcoms, the name of our wacky morning show in college was the Rush Hour Renegades, which is a callback to Full House.
Full House.
Yep, with Uncle Jesse and Joey.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the name of our wacky morning radio show in college.
I was Joey.
Well, of course. I mean, obviously. Look at the hair. No surprise.
Yeah, both were fake.
So I'm just saying, like, when I see this story that there are football players who are failing at making an NFL team, The option isn't going back to college.
It is now, though. That's the problem. This is what, and like, to get into the weeds of this, like, save college football or save college athletics act or whatever they're calling it that they're trying to pass in Congress. There's a lot of bad in it, and there's there's 3 good things in it if you really dig into it. And we don't have time to get into all of it, the good and the bad.
Okay.
Some of the good is like stopping this and like having one transfer and like ending a lot of the, and like regulating a lot of the bringing back what we love about college football. Having one transfer.
Games?
Well,
rivalries?
Yeah, some of that.
Conferences?
Yes, some of that. Like some of it
Games
is
in the regular season that matter?
basically one of the things is if you want to leave your conference, you have to be independent for 3 years.
Yeah, and no team's going to do that because only Notre Dame can handle that.
Exactly.
No one else can. Like, if you're Baylor, you can't go independent for 3 years without a TV contract.
Or if you're Clemson and you want to be in the SEC.
Yeah, it's true.
Or Florida State, you want to be in the SEC. So like that's part of this like act is regulating the NIL and regulating the transfer portal and regulating all this stuff. There are a few good things in it that would help college fans because college fans, they like having guys that they can remember. They don't like having to comb through a roster and relearning every single player every single year and being like, this guy was a senior. We heard from Ryan Day, who moved their senior day from the Michigan game to week 1 against Ball State because he even said it. Some seniors aren't equal to some seniors anymore because some seniors have been there the entire time and some seniors just got there. Like that's the world of college football that we're living in. And some seniors have played NFL games now, apparently. Some seniors have been in an NFL locker room. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I do think it's always funny to think about, right? Like a player who leaves for professional sports early. Happens more with basketball, happens in baseball occasionally, but usually, they stick in college until they go to the minors.
Mm-hmm.
But really, in football, you're either a junior or senior. It's rare that there's juniors getting selected high who then don't turn out, right? Like those are usually the best of the best players.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the NBA, it's freshmen. Right? Like I've always laughed at the idea if someone didn't work in the NBA, it's like, oh, you still got 3 years of eligibility left.
Yes.
You could go back.
Yeah.
Your super freshman comes to the NBA, it doesn't work, flames out, boom, he can go back. Years of isn't that the story with J.R. Smith with golf? Didn't J.R. Smith, he
was on the golf team.
He was on the Georgia Tech golf team because he had years of eligibility left.
Yeah.
And he's very serious about golf now, which is cool. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
And he's
actually good at it.
He played college golf.
Yeah.
I think it was at Georgia Tech or somewhere in Georgia. J.R. Smith.
I think it was. It was somewhere. College. It was somewhere good because he was actually pretty good at it.
Oh, no, I was off. North Carolina A&T.
Oh, well, it was really off.
I mean, same region, South.
Okay.
It was the same region.
South.
The South.
Yeah, below the Mason
North
Dixon.
Carolina A&T. J.R. Smith.
Below that
men's
Mason
golf.
Dixon line.
He's a 5th-year player in men's golf. His picture's right there. He's an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Look at all the other kids on the squad.
But there's the difference there. He didn't go back to play basketball.
That is true.
He went back to play golf. He didn't go back to try to resurrect it because he had 1 year left of eligibility on a basketball scholarship.
So here's the rule. The rule is this.
You can go back, we have to play a different sport?
No, you have to play a different position. So you have to be a kicker. Yeah. Yeah, if you try to make it in the NFL and you don't do it and you go back to college football, you got to be a kicker. Yeah, why not? What's wrong with that?
They'll just have 10 kickers on the roster. You can't do
that. So if you guys go back to school, do you have to do TV? You can't do radio anymore?
They don't have they don't want that.
Raj. We have to go to the fashion program because I think that's the only thing that's left there.
That's a deep pull. Sitting around of the Rush Hour Renegades?
Oh, I'm sure we could find them somewhere. But...
Rush Hour Renegades! Come on,
yeah, thank you, Rush. Yes, that's from Full House back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Dust off the old mini discs.
yeah, I don't know if those exist anymore. And that
Oh,
was
I
a that was a
still
deep
have
poll
them.
from Abdalla about Columbia College Chicago, how they're not doing well. So shout out to an art school. In today's media landscape, where essentially you don't need any media training to get a YouTube following and have a successful career. So congrats. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Let's see. From the 520 text reads from you can always text us at 310-840-4910. From the 520, fellas, this frustration over old players in college football is moot. That is what 5 and 5 is all about. Every freshman this season has eligibility until 2030-31. Yeah, I mean, 5 years is not as crazy as a guy at Miami the last couple of years who is older than a lot of players who have been starting in the NFL for like 4 and 5 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you are signed to an NFL roster, you shouldn't be able to go back to college. Simple as, like, I don't understand what the issue is here. It's pretty simple.
Here you go. A text from the 208. If these players want to return to the NCAA teams, they should not be able to collect any NIL money, stealing from a player who worked there for their opportunity to play college football. I think that's a fair point, right? If your time is done and you've moved on, go be a professional in whatever path that you're choosing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take NIL money from other kids who are on campus who are now in their college experience.
There you go.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
There you go.
Text from the 435, Cam from Utah. He says, it's like quitting a job for another job. It's not liking it and wanting to get to your old job and get your old job back. Grow up. This is the entitlement generation.
Mm-hmm.
That's Cam in Utah. I disagree with your assessment that it is just a job. And I get what Cam's saying is that that's how they're treating it. But
that's how they're treated. It is a job. It's a paycheck.
But that's not college athletics for all of the other sports on campus.
For football and basketball, it's a paycheck. For football especially, it's a paycheck because of how many guys are on the roster and how the way NIL is working these days until they regulate it. Because now anybody can just get NIL from anywhere. You can just take checks from anybody.
Yeah, it's true. It's Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Keep the text coming on that topic because I think it's fascinating. Football players are trying to make the NFL, signing deals, and then saying, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm going back to college. I'm going to try and play college football again. So we'll continue with those thoughts at 310-840-4910. We were already high on the Dallas Cowboys when they signed Von Miller. The latest news, though, might have Abdalla ready to put a star on his helmet and some spurs on his boots. We'll explain that coming up next.
The stories that matter from the brand you trust. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Don't forget, you can always watch the show, Bleck and Abdalla Show, on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, hanging out with you till 3 Eastern. So the Cowboys signed Von Miller over the weekend. I love it. I think the Cowboys' defense will be improved this upcoming season. We'll see if that's the case. Abdalla, there is a new piece of audio that's out there where I think this is going to have you run through a wall to honor and to support the Dallas Cowboys this upcoming season. Yeah, that was the sound effect of you hitting your fist into your hand. Just wanted to clarify that that's what the sound effect was. It wasn't anything else. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Let's take a listen. This is Cowboys offensive coordinator Clayton Adams on a hot dog fridge.
Huh?
Well, it's something that I'm working on here, you know, kind of in the back of my mind is, you know, how can you really have a break room or a snack room if you don't have a hot dog fridge, you know, and if you're going to have a hot dog fridge, you've got to have high quality hot dogs in it. And if you're going to have high quality hot dogs in it, we got brioche buns and maybe some pretzel buns. So these are all things that we're working on. Maybe an industrial size 7-Eleven hot dog roller. I don't know. But these are just things I roll around in the back of my mind.
Like a sponsor. What you put on your hot dog?
You know, I'm a huge fan of just mayonnaise, mustard, and pickles. And then one of the things I learned from going to Disneyland with my kids, because I was trying to steam the bun, I was trying to toast the bun, and the guy at Disneyland goes, "No, man, put it in the bun and wrap it in foil and let the hot dog steam the bun." It's been revolutionary.
It is.
That's a good way.
Not a mayonnaise guy. Yeah. No mayonnaise for me. I'm from America.
Okay, so then he went back on the mayonnaise.
Wait, what? I don't understand that.
He went back on
Didn't
the mayonnaise.
He say mayonnaise?
He said he put mayonnaise. I think maybe he meant mustard.
Oh, that's a mix-up.
I think he meant mustard, and then they asked him mayonnaise on the hot dog, and he went, no, no mayonnaise. I'm from America.
That's quite the mix-up.
I think he meant mustard, ketchup, and
also a subtle dig at Europeans.
Yeah.
I'm throwing the mayonnaise on your hot dog.
From America.
Like, what is wrong
Cowboys
with you?
Head coach. What are you talking? I'm a Cowboys offensive coordinator. What are you talking
I'll
about?
tell you what. In the off-season projections for guys who could get the next gig,
they just went up.
I'm bumping offensive coordinator Clayton Adams up.
I'll tell you this, man.
Hot dog fridge. That sounds good.
I was high on the Cowboys before. I am high on the Cowboys, even higher on the Cowboys now. I mean, you're talking about high quality hot dogs. You and I broadcast out of the great city of Chicago every day. We know hot dogs. We know Vienna beef.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about a show that knows wieners.
Yeah.
We
know wieners
the
better
Bleck
than
Abdalla
anybody.
show.
Yeah.
Of
high
course.
quality wieners.
Yes.
Right here.
Of course.
Okay.
It's what we do.
Put that on a shirt. Bleck
Yes.
Abdalla. High quality
dude.
wieners.
It's a big dude.
Thank you, John Harbaugh.
And yeah, I feel like if you're going to have a hot dog room, if you're going to have some 7-Eleven rollers like that, you got to have all the fixins. You got to have everything. You got to have, I mean, listen, if you want to put ketchup on your hot dog, I don't care what you put in your mouth. That's not up to me. Okay. So if you want to have ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, you got to have all that. You got to have the jalapenos. You got to have the celery salt. You got to have everything. If you want to put some mayo out there for people, if you're weird, whatever. If you want to put the chili out there for the chili dogs,
weird.
If you want to suck on a chili dog, that's what you want to do. Whatever. If you're a Mellencamp, whatever.
If you're a what? If you're a who?
Yeah, sucking on a chili dog. Jack and Diane style. Whatever you want to do.
Is that the lyric?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Didn't they suck on chili dogs?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine.
Or is it down?
No.
All right. On or down?
I don't care, man. Someone's doing something to a chili dog that's inappropriate. Okay.
I love to show the texture and this wave.
Oh, the
pattern.
QVC lady. She's
Again,
back.
It looks like you went and got a blow.
Okay. All right.
A blowout at your salon. And it looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today.
All right,
what a great transition.
So,
all right, so
I love this idea.
Yes.
I love that. This is a great, especially for the beefy boys, the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen.
Hey, I'm not a beefy boy. I love hot dogs.
I love a good hot dog.
I think a hot dog fridge. I mean, here NBC Tower, should we look into a hot dog fridge
I think
here?
we should look into a roller.
Here at Cumulus Chicago.
Absolutely. Why not?
Should we be the ones that bring in the hot dog fridge? Try to make some friends with the hot dog fridge?
I think we need to. So
hand out the hot dogs in the hallway. You could have the little cart, the whole thing. It'd be fantastic.
So yeah, high on the Cowboys.
Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Now it's time for NHTSA tailgating traditions. Driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal, and law enforcement can tell if you're driving high. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI, paid for by NHTSA. Today's tailgating tradition, Abdalla, we're not talking hot dogs.
Nope.
We're talking guacamole.
Ooh.
How about this? Couple of tips for guacamole. Great guac. Because think about it. Any tailgate, if you're getting ready to watch the games tonight, there's 2 preseason games tonight. Or if you're tailgating this weekend as the preseason rolls around, college football right around the corner.
Yeah.
You got to have great guac at your tailgate. So here, loosely, the ingredients, you can go with a lot of different things. Usually avocados, obviously, jalapenos, cilantro, onion, garlic, lime, salt. You can add other parts, like maybe if you want a little kick, maybe some crushed red pepper flakes you could add into the guac. Or how about this idea? What if at the tailgate you have the grill fired up and you want grilled guac?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
I've heard this. Yeah.
Place the avocados, the jalapenos, the garlic on the grill, get them charred, and then make your guac, which I think is a great idea as well.
I've heard that too. And what I like to do is because you're supposed to put the lime, you're supposed to squeeze the lime in and then mix it in. What you can do also is you chop up your onions
And then in a separate bowl, you can mellow the onions in the lime juice. So it takes some of the sharpness out of the lime. And then if you want a little bit more sweetness, I've seen some people do this. I've done this before, is you can squeeze a little bit of orange juice, just a tiny bit into it to add a little bit of sweetness, take a little bit more of the sharpness out of it. If you want a little bit more sweet, a little less sharp of the onion out of that too. It can add a little bit of different flavor palette to it. It's great.
I've always known you to be a little bit of a mango guy in your guac.
Okay, so if you don't want to go through the whole process of making it, if you're in a pinch, Whole Foods, take their guac and their mango salsa, put it together. Tell them you made it.
It's called the Abdalla.
It's called the In a Pinch.
That's the
We're running late.
Yeah, that's the Abdalla handshake.
It's
at the tailgate.
Yeah, it never fails. Telling you, it's great together.
NHTSA tailgating traditions, driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal. And law enforcement can tell if you're driving high. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI paid for by NHTSA. So there you go. Guacamole. You can't have a tailgate or a party without good guac. It really makes it. And Raj mentioned that he has a fun fact about guacamole. What, you have a fun fact, Raj?
Not so fun for me. I am allergic to guacamole.
Oh, no.
I mean,
that's not fun at all.
You're killing the
avocados. So as you know, sometimes avocado can look almost like white. Like not green, like it can almost spread white.
Yeah.
I am calling a
Easy
basketball game on the road. I grab thanks, Chris. Grab a veggie wrap. Do not see the avocado spread he's on, which was spread upon it. And I am in a hotel room in North Dakota after ingesting quite a bit of avocado, crawling on the carpet, thinking this is how it ends.
This is how we lose Raj.
Announcer kicks it in hotel room in North Dakota. Luckily, the SID/roommate showed up and was able to help me.
Yeah, and you're here, so that's quite the story. Yeah, you don't.
Also,
you don't want
National
to be,
Avocado Day, because everything has a day, falls on my birthday, which I think is a very mean.
They're taunting you.
Oh,
they're
taunting you. Yeah.
I would also say the almost dying part is the second worst part. You never want to crawl on a carpet in a hotel room.
No, you don't want anything to do with that.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You can always find the show on SiriusXM Channel 375 and all of our great radio affiliates around the country as well. Live from Chicago each and every day. It's Bleck and Abdalla. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. A lot of quarterbacks in these joint practices, Abdalla. What has been noticeable is like the reports coming out about some of these quarterbacks where they don't look good. Now, obviously, it's training camp, joint practices for legitimate starters. To me, it's a big nothing. It is clickbait. It's something that's posted. It's reported. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Specifically, one player with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Yesterday, joint practice with the Patriots. The reports say Jalen Hurts was not very good. Went 19 of 27, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. Is that just one bad practice? Or is it something to note based on the way the Eagles' offseason's kind of gone to this point?
So I agree with you. If it was one day, I wouldn't be worried about it. Okay. I will relate it to what I'm seeing today out of Chicago Bears practice. From what we've heard out of Chicago Bears practice is that Caleb Williams is having a very strong practice. Now they're having joint practices with the Bengals because they faced the Bengals on Saturday in their week 2 preseason game. And at the end of practice, it was not good for Caleb Williams in the offense. He was sacked 3 times. He threw an interception, and that's how practice ended for the Chicago Bears. Not good, but that's one day of practice. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams have been working together. This is their second year together. I'm not worried about that offense. What we've been hearing about the Eagles camp is that this is not just one day. This has been a few days. This has been kind of a theme of camp, is that the offense has kind of struggled. We saw the video last week put out by the social media team of Jalen Hurts throwing an interception. This is also a new offensive coordinator. This is also their first year without A.J. Brown in the fold for Jalen Hurts. And you've got Mekhi Lemon coming in as a rookie who's in and out of practice left and right because he's constantly injured. So to me, is it something? Is it nothing? It's something. Because the way I feel about the Eagles in this division is exactly the opposite of how I feel about the Cowboys. I've got no question about the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense is going to be good. I know Jonathan Grenard is injured right now. He's going to miss a little bit of time. He might miss the start of the season, but they're going to be fine. Their defense is going to be fine. They gave Jalen Carter a bunch of money. They're going to be fine. I have a lot of questions about their offense and how they're going to look. It is not, last year was not good for them. They went an entire half of football last year where Jalen Hurts didn't complete a pass. Their run game was atrocious last year compared to how it was the year before. They were bad last year. How are they going to look this year? Like the Cowboys, no question about their offense. It's all about their defense. Have they made enough improvements on their defense to actually be a championship caliber team to keep up with that offense? With the Eagles, it's the complete opposite. I don't know what this offense is going to look like. New system. We've heard that Jalen Hurts is taking to it and he's not freelancing anymore, like the hit piece said about him. Came from either guys that have left the building or inside the building that don't like Jalen Hurts or whatever it is. So I am kind of worried about this offense. And if I were an Eagles fan, I don't like what I'm seeing coming out of Eagles training camp day in and day out about how this offense isn't really clicking and not really on the same page moving forward.
Okay, to go along the lines of what you were just talking about, I started to think, so impromptu conversation, impromptu topic here. You mentioned the way the Cowboys are set up as a team, the way the Eagles are set up as a team. To me, that's a very fascinating matchup. Like I'm really looking forward to the Eagles-Cowboys games this upcoming season because of that setup. The Eagles offense struggled at times last year, but their defense is very good. Cowboys are the opposite. How does that work out in a game? Mm-hmm. What will we get when those two teams play? So the impromptu topic and what I was thinking about as you were saying that was, where would I rank Eagles and Cowboys as far as interesting divisional matchups?
Oh, man.
For this upcoming season. I think number one in the league has to be Rams-Seahawks, right? Rams-Seahawks, you have the team who won the offseason and the defending champions. Like, they're both two teams that are going to be great this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles-Cowboys is really fascinating, really juicy.
Yeah.
I know that you're going to want to say a Chicago angle, so I think you could make the argument that Chicago Green Bay or Chicago Detroit will be fantastic matchups. I kind of feel like the standard answer for the last 15 to 20 years is usually Baltimore and Pittsburgh. We'll see if Pittsburgh can kind of live up to the billing. And then also the other one I would add in, there are two more that come to mind. Buffalo and New England.
Yeah.
I think the Buffalo-New England matchups, both of those games will be fantastic this upcoming season. Then you have to go to the West. Is it Chargers-Broncos? Broncos-Chiefs?
Okay.
Those are probably the best divisional matchups in of like note that will be games that lead towards playoff seeding and importance throughout the season.
So I agree with you in a sense with Rams and Seahawks. It's towards the bottom of my list, though, because I believe both those teams are going to make the playoffs. So it's for seeding, right? Like, it's like those games are going to be great. Like, as far as like if we're ranking as far as like where I think the games are going to be good or where like playoff implications, I think
the conference championship game mattered.
I understand that. I completely understand that. But I think that Cowboys and Eagles will be for not just seeding, will be for a playoff spot. Like, I think we could get a situation where you only get one team out of the NFC East.
Yeah.
So those games could be for one team out of the NFC East.
Yeah, it certainly could.
Because you could get 3 teams out of the NFC West. You could get 3 teams out of the NFC North. So to me, it's way more important that game. Those games are way more important than Bears Packers, because both those teams could make the playoffs. Bears Lions, because both those teams could make the playoffs. Rams and Seahawks, because both those teams could make the playoffs. I think that same with Bills and Patriots. You don't have the Patriots in the playoffs right now. I do, as we will probably make our predictions, 11 days before the regular season starts.
11?
11 days.
Is that not 20?
No, not today. 11.
Not 20? Okay,
11 days
okay.
before the regular
All right.
season starts. I have the Patriots in the playoffs, so I don't know if that matchup intrigues me as much as like Chargers-Chiefs, like you said, because I think the Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs. I don't know about the Chargers either with all their injuries, so maybe it's Chargers-Broncos, because that could be for a playoff spot. Or it's even, Ravens-Bengals, because maybe that's for a playoff spot. So to me, it's based on which division is only going to have one team representing it, as opposed to, well, this team is going to win and this team is going to be a wild card spot. I know the seeding matters, because when you get to the NFC and AFC championship game, that obviously matters. But the fact that those two teams, the Cowboys and the Eagles, I think are going to be fighting for a spot in the playoffs, I think that matchup is way more intriguing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the thing that is, I like that both the Eagles and the Cowboys are built a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's going to create the interesting matchup. I mean, you could kind of say the same for some aspects of the Rams Seahawks, right? The Seahawks are more of a defensive team. The Rams are led by their offense, but then they go out and get Myles Garrett. So it's like, well, they're overall just a great team. And I think when you look at some of those matchups in divisions, you get a little of the push and pull, where like teams that come into the game have a strength on one side of the ball, where the other, that's their weakness. And I think that's what's going to make Cowboys Eagles so great this upcoming season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the way that the Eagles offense is struggling, you saw yesterday that, AJ Brown was kind of ripping apart their defense too. So, I mean, look, it's one joint practice again. I haven't really seen reports out of what today was looking like. I think they're holding their practices right now between those two teams. But when you look at it today, there's actually the one picture that I saw of Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown actually talking to each other. I think it's the first time that they've talked since the trade. Yeah, AJ Brown said they haven't talked since the trade. So this would be the first time that they've talked.
So they're on the field talking.
They're on the field talking. So
okay.
I don't know.
Big development.
I don't know. But I think it matters more to me that the Eagles offense is struggling day in and day out than one pop-up struggle for, another offense. Like the Bengals offense has been looking good. They struggled against the Bears, today. Or does that matter? It's one day. I don't think it matters for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It's one day. It doesn't matter. You know, if they struggle for the next week and a half, yeah, okay, then we might see a little problem. But again, it's Joe Burrow, it's Jamar Chase, it's T. Higgins. They're one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. I'm not that worried about them when we get to the regular season.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. I saw this story in the New York Post. Are you familiar with what has gone on with in the last few months with the CBS show 60 Minutes? There's a lot of Big J journalists that left the program. They were not happy with the management style and direction of the program. So there's a lot of big names that have left the show, and they're trying to revamp 60 Minutes.
Okay.
I know. I'm the only, quote, young person that watches 60 Minutes still.
Mm-hmm.
Elder millennial here who still watches 60 Minutes.
I only see 60 Minutes when they're telling me what's going to be on it after during the late CBS game.
Sure. Yeah. You're watching Nance, and now it'll be Watt.
Yeah.
You'll be watching them, and they'll be previewing.
And I'll be
around
saying,
for 60
what's
minutes.
coming on up on CBS, and they'll tell me.
Yep. Thank you.
Sorry,
JJ.
that was a swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was bad. After yesterday's performance,
I was allowed a heat check.
You were due.
I was allowed a heat check.
That was a 3/4 court heave.
Yeah.
That just was an air ball that hit a poor cheerleader in the face.
Yeah, I was allowed a heat check.
That was rough. That was bad. All right, so this is the latest news about 60 Minutes. This is from the New York Post. Apparently, 60 Minutes is eyeing Jerry Seinfeld or Stephen A. Smith for Andy Rooney-style segments to end the new episodes.
No.
So they're looking for celebrities to take on the Andy Rooney segment at the end of the episode. If you're not familiar with what this segment is Andy Rooney, for a very long time, would end 60 Minutes with an observation, with like a little essay, right? A video essay about something that interested him. It could be postage stamps. It could be milk. It could be today's fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It could be music. And this he passed away in 2011, so he hasn't been on TV for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what it sounded like.
It may be what everyone thinks of themselves as, but I consider myself to be an absolutely dead center, normal, average American. You'd think my experience growing up, going to school, serving in the army.
Like, you get the point, right? Like
he had really bushy eyebrows.
That millions of other Americans apparently are listening to. I've heard
he's talking about music that he doesn't understand, right? Old guy doesn't understand music.
Sting and the Rolling Stones, but someone sent me Billboard magazine, and I looked at a list of the top 200 performers, and nobody I know is on that bestseller list. The singers I know have been replaced by performers like Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Usher. I mean, who?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga.
List of the top 200 performers, and nobody I know is on that bestseller list. The singers I know have been replaced by performers like Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Usher.
Why does he say Lady Gaga's name like that? So that's the deal. They are looking for replacement. Could you imagine Stephen A. Smith ending 60 Minutes each week with a rant? Or Jerry Seinfeld? What's the deal with airline food?
What's the deal with these big pants? First it was tight pants, and now it's big pants. Why can't we just have medium pants? I've been wearing medium pants forever. I've been a medium. You can't get in these tight pants, and when we're walking around in big pants, you're sweeping the street. I don't get it.
Yes, exactly. Who would you have end 60 Minutes if you could pick? If you could select, because none of this is fun.
Be McAfee.
Oh, all right. Really?
Now knowing am I blessed or am I cursed? Am I the best or the worst?
Could you imagine
standing
him
on a desk just yelling at people?
At the end of every episode of 60 Minutes, he gets on the desk and he starts telling everyone how he's such an underdog while making 60 mil a year or whatever, and he's ending 60 Minutes.
No one
believed in me. Look at me.
Nobody likes me.
I'm a country artist. I'm a polarizing figure.
Oops, I stirred another pot today. Devil showed up, now we're okay.
The ultimate underdog.
What's
Could
the
you
deal
imagine?
with all these flavors of Oreos? What happened to double stuff? First it was double stuff. Double stuff used to be big. Now double stuff's regular stuff. Now they've got all these different flavors. Why do I need chicken and waffle flavored Oreos?
Are you still doing Seinfeld?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of different things Seinfeld would say.
That's great. I actually saw a Seinfeld piece of stand-up recently that I was like, that's brilliant. It's the donut and the donut hole. You can't have a hole of nothing. That's the bit. I'm not going to do the bit for you, but that's the bit, and it's actually great. It's actually wonderful. But for 60 Minutes, could you close out 60 Minutes each week?
Me?
Yeah.
No one wants to hear my thoughts. No one wants to hear the ramblings of my ramblings.
Yeah, I want to hear you talk about postage stamps.
Here's part 4 of how I believe we didn't go to the moon the first time. And it's just me with a whiteboard that's got like 1,000 scribblings on it.
What if Raj gave us the closing to 60 Minutes each week? I think that would be great. I think Raj would be great at that.
Here's why 1998 SummerSlam was the greatest wrestling event that ever took place. And he's just got video. He's got a PowerPoint set up.
I've got 17 reasons why Bo Nix will be the best quarterback in the NFL.
I would be great at it, but I wouldn't tackle those subjects. We would tackle the things with like real meaning, guys. Real meaning. Like,
give us an example. Real meaning.
Like why we put avocado on everything these days. Why do I have to ask
It's true.
every time I order a sandwich if there's avocado on it?
That's true.
That's
true.
an
People people are obsessed with avocados. That is true.
Not a good time to have an allergy to that. They say, hey, I'd like to have a peanut butter sandwich. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to put some avocado on that too. Why? Why?
Because they want to ruin all good things, Raj. They don't want you to partake.
All good things.
These Gen Z kids can't afford their rent because they're ordering too much avocado toast.
Yeah, that's all they're doing is ordering avocado toast from that
Bleck
place.
would be better at it. Bleck's just pure passion for it.
I would. I mean, I will say, Andy Rooney. I sometimes can channel the thing.
Nobody watches the news anymore.
Why are people not sitting down as a family and watching the late local news anymore? Don't you want your weather or your sports or the traffic for the next day?
Now, in fairness,
Yes.
could you not hear someone maybe saying, what happened to when I used to turn on ESPN and get highlights? And I used to come home and get highlights every day.
I think that
get
would
my
be a good
summary of highlights.
I think that would be a good essay. I think that'd be a great essay. I enjoy highlights. They're great. I like sports.
You have
guys
a
like
highlight?
sports? It sounds like you guys don't like sports.
I like sports.
You have
sounds like
a
you guys are out on sports.
viewing apparatus in your pocket.
That is certainly true. We do have that in our pockets at all times.
Legal
Yes.
gambling apparatus in their pocket.
Yes. So that's outstanding. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. We're expecting to see a lot of Fernando Mendoza, the number one pick tonight. How much more will we see of him in the regular season? We'll let you know during over and unders coming up with Raj coming up next. Speaking of the illegal gambling apparatus in our pockets, this summer, the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
And if you're new to that apparatus, new DraftKings customer can sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That includes all markets.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Every team, every player, every story, every angle. This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, live from Chicago each and every day. Now it's time to go on out to parts unknown Colorado, and that's where we find Raj Sharon.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed on a Thursday. It's time for Over and Unders with Raj. What's up, Raj?
What's up, fellas? All right, we've talked about it. Fernando Mania continues tonight with the Raiders, but it's just the preseason. This question has to do with the regular season. I know how you guys feel about what should happen, your opinions on how the Raiders should do, but what do you think will actually happen? That is where we're going to go with our first question. What will Clint Kubiak and company do? Fernando Mendoza will start, not should start, will start. Over or under 7.5 regular season games this season, Adam Abdalla?
Over. Yeah, I think he'll get 9 or 10 or maybe probably more. I think you'll get Cousins for 5 or 6 games, and then they'll be like, all right, that's enough. Fernando's ready. We've seen enough of this. This guy's he can't move. He can't throw downfield. Like this is enough of this. So I think they'll see Fernando.
This is enough of this.
Pretty soon. So I'm going to go with he starts like 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, I'm going to go over that number 2. You said 7.5 games.
Yeah,
I think Mendoza will start for the majority of this season. I think otherwise it is a gigantic waste of time. So sure, they can keep this up for the start, maybe the first couple of weeks. But I would say by October, Mendoza will be the starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll put it way over.
All right, guys. Also in action tonight, the San Francisco 49ers, who practice right next to our favorite electrical substation. They've got a group of offensive players, all big names. I want to know how often they're all on the field together in the regular season. Here we go, fellas. Brock Purdy will have this group of offensive weapons together on the field. George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Mike Evans, and Deebo Samuel. Those 4 guys will all be with him on the field at the same time, healthy, playing for over or under 5.5 games this season.
Oh, man, Raj, as you were setting it up, I was thinking to myself, because I didn't cheat. I didn't look ahead at the questions. I was thinking I think 5 sounds right. Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. That's a great number, 5.5. Oh,
yeah,
man.
McCaffrey, Kittle, Evans, and Deebo. Yes, so that's his starting running back, his starting tight end, and his 2 wide receivers.
I want to be pessimistic and go under, but I think I'm going to be wrong. So I'm going to go over. I think they squeeze out 7 games together as a crew. 7. They're going to squeeze out 7.
What a crew of names.
I also
you got
think
McCaffrey, Kittle, and Evans are all probably going to the Hall of Fame. Samuel is like Hall of Very Good. Those are big names. But
I think with McCaffrey, I think some of him not practicing with this tightness has to do with he wants more money.
Yeah,
you're going Florio on this? You're going Florio, Black?
Yeah, I think
Shanahan said it's not, but I don't necessarily believe
I think he saw the money that was handed out to other running backs, and I think he's not too eager to get back as quickly as he could because he would like some more paper.
Well, you leave the practice field every day, walking back to your
you.
car, you look up at that substation. It's a reminder. It can go any day. Adam Abdalla.
If you had set this at like 8.5, I would have gone under, but I'll go over.
That's crazy.
5.5.
I mean, George Kittle himself is coming off like a major serious injury.
Yeah, but like you would have gone the half the season. I would have said under. So like if you would have said it at 8, I would have gone under. So I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna say they get like 7 games maybe together. The full complement of them.
All right, I like it. All right, let's go to Philadelphia. We talked about this earlier. The reports: Jalen Hurts not having the hottest of training camps, at least during the joint practices with the New England Patriots. They put out a hit piece on the guy, his own team, in the offseason. So I asked, Jalen Hurts will finish with over or under a 99.9 passer rating this season. That would put him in the top 10. Last year, he was 12 at a 98.5. So I didn't set the bar terribly high, just a little bit higher. And this is passer rating, which takes into account completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, interceptions, etc. Over or under a 99.9 QB rating. Will Jalen Hurts hit triple digits of a passer rating this season? Adam Abdalla.
Oh, okay. I am going to say under. I'm going to say under.
I'm saying under too.
I think that the loss of A.J. Brown, I think the new offensive coordinator, I think Mekhi Lemon being in and out of the lineup.
I'm going under.
I'm going to go under. Yeah.
I'm going under with you as well.
I'm going to go under.
He's a good quarterback that you can win with, but he's not a guy he's going to put the team on his back.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the case. So I think that number's a little high, Raj, so I'm going to go under.
All right, guys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have been in the news. Vita Vea's got a new contract. Maybe he can wear team gear now while he's walking around at the facility. Baker Mayfield does not have a new contract, but he's bullish. He specifically brought up, you guys think we're going to have a losing record? Think we're going to surprise some people? So that's where we got our number today. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win over or under 8.5 games this season. Christopher Black.
I'm going to go over. I think the Buccaneers are better this upcoming season. So 8.5 gets them to at least 9 wins. I think they'll win their division. I'm buying with what Tampa's doing here in the offseason. Vita is there now, and Baker is there, and he'll eventually get his money. So I'm going to go over the 8.5.
I'm doing the schedule win-loss thing now.
Yeah, how's it going? Good season? Good NFL season as you sim it in your head?
It's a tough start against...
Surprise MVP candidate?
No, it's a tough start. I mean,
you sim?
They got a tough schedule, man. They got a really tough schedule. They got to go to Dallas.
A lot of games. They got games on the
They got
schedule.
A lot of games on the schedule. They got 17
How
of
about
them.
this stall tactic, Raj? What do you think of this?
That's exactly what it is. But
they've got games.
I'm
They've
sitting,
got
I'm sitting at
a
right
lot
at
of
8.
tough
I'm sitting
road
right
games.
at 8 wins. So I think I'm gonna say under. I'm sitting right at 8 wins. So I think I'm gonna go under.
Football team plays a lot of games, Raj.
Because I'm sitting right at I'm right at 7 when they get to their week 17 game against the Rams. They're gonna lose that, and then their week 18 game against the Saints on the road against the Saints is gonna be a big one. So I think I'm gonna go under. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go under, and they'll win the division, but it'll be at 8 wins again.
Okay. At 8 and 9. All right, let's go to the NBA. Big trade yesterday. The Cavaliers added my guy Peyton Watson, #free yoke. All right. Now, looking ahead to the season in the East, the Cavaliers, James Harden just moments ago re-signed. We got that news from Shams Charania. You add Peyton Watson to the mix. I see the Cavaliers as over, and we'll say that's better than or under, worse than the 3.5 seed in the Eastern Conference. Adam Abdalla.
Under. Because the Knicks are better than them. The Celtics are better than them. And I think the Pistons are still better than them. The 76ers are better than them. And I think
wait, under means that
they'll be the 4th seed.
Okay.
Yeah,
right?
4th or worst would be under.
Yeah, so under. Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll be under. They'll be 4th or worse. So yeah, because the 76ers are better. The Knicks are better. The Celtics are better. The Pistons can still be better. So they could be 5, I think.
I agree. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's certainly possible. I'll go under as well. Did you guys see with the signing of James Harden, 3-year deal, $97 million contract with the Cavs? As Raj mentioned, it was just announced by ESPN that deal is going through. How about this from Shams Charania? He just tweeted this about Harden's career earnings. Harden's career earnings now reach $511 million, making him the 4th player in NBA history to eclipse $500 million made in their NBA career from contracts from teams. Those other 3 players are LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry.
Oh.
And then James Harden, who turns 37 next week.
That's crazy.
So the 4 players who have made the most money in contracts in NBA history. LeBron James makes sense. Kevin Durant, it makes sense. Steph Curry makes sense. And James Harden. So there you go.
That's crazy.
It's
Makes
like
sense, though.
the NBA's version of Kirk Cousins. Of just, we're going to look at him and be like, wow, he made all that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he was
really
a bad
is.
player. Like, he was a good player, but wow.
Yeah.
He made all that.
Mm-hmm.
Wild. All right. Speaking of money, guys, our final question has to do with money, but we're going to Hollywood to a Chris Bleck favorite. I read earlier this week that Tom Holland, Chris Bleck's favorite actor currently, Tom Holland, is expected to earn north of $100 million for Spider-Man alone, not including the Odyssey or endorsements. So I did a little research. The best I could find in terms of the best single year an actor has had financially was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in 2021, earning $270 million between box office and like big time endorsements. Here's your question, Chris Bleck. Tom Holland will earn over or under that number, $270.5 million a single year at some point of his career.
I will say under, because I think this is the best that it will be for Tom Holland. Like, I don't think he'll ever get the combo platter of a Christopher Nolan all-time film that leads into the 3rd Spider-Man edition. Right? Like, it was the 3rd Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, but
for
could
them,
he
right?
get a combo platter of a Spider-Man into some other comic book like...
Could he get a sampler platter of a Spider-Man in an Avengers with a Tarantino? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I got the combo platter for you, Abdalla.
Yeah.
But this isn't official. I'm just a little speculative.
Okay.
If he were to get in a single year a big Spider-Man movie, a big Avengers movie, a big Christopher Nolan movie, and it has been speculated He is cast as the next James Bond, and he
No,
gets
he's
a
not
big
getting-
James
he's not
Bond
getting
movie.
Bond.
A wee little boy is not going to be James Bond. Come on.
He's too wayfish to be
Come on.
Bond.
It has
It'll
been
blow away.
speculated.
That dude will
If
blow
he
away in the
gets
wind.
a Spider-Man,
Don't do that to
an
my Bond
Avengers,
franchise.
don't do that.
a
Get out of here
Nolan,
with that.
Don't
and
do
a
that with James
Bond.
Bond.
No.
Raj,
First of all,
don't
all it would
Avenger our
take-
Bond.
All it would take is Avengers and Spider-Man, I think. And he would do it. So I think he
Avengers,
could.
Spider-Man, Nolan, Bond, I think is the recipe to crack 270 in a year.
He's not going to be Bond.
He's not going to
Come
be
on.
Bond.
What are you doing?
There's been a lot of talk.
He's
Just
not going to
saying.
be
Well,
Bond.
change it.
Talk.
What is this, Bond the preteen years?
There's been a lot of talk. Go Don Draper on it. Change the conversation. There you go.
It's not going to be Bond.
People
not
didn't want
gonna be
Daniel Craig
James Bond.
as Bond either, and he lasted for quite a long time.
God, Daniel Craig's a man.
Thank you. He is a man. Yes.
Tom Holland's a boy.
A little
There's so
boy.
much Tom Holland
little-
slander going. That might be why they want. Why did he
Slander,
get
look,
cast?
facts.
He got
He's
cast
wee.
as Spider-Man because he
He's a
was
small
young and they
little-
wanted to grow with him. They could cast Tom Holland and grow with him. They could do like
No,
20 years
they
of
wanted-
James Bond
they
movies.
wanted
James
to
Bond,
grow.
the high school years? What are we doing?
Could you imagine?
James Bond, the
He's
Academy?
30
What are we
right now.
doing?
He's 30.
No.
If he gets cast by the time
That ain't
production, he'll be in his like mid 30s by the time the movie comes out.
That ain't it.
Nah,
That's not going to work.
They can age him up, man. It's Hollywood. They
Give me
got
Idris
tricks. They
Elba.
got CG.
They can age him up.
They can age him up.
What is
They
this,
can age him
Benjamin
up.
Button?
Age him up.
They
It's
can
not
age
gonna
him up.
work.
What are
I
they
take
gonna,
for you.
what are they gonna lengthen it? They give him that leg lengthening surgery.
I mean, it is Bond. They may have to do that in other areas too.
Oh man,
I mean, right?
easy.
What do you mean easy? You were thinking it.
It's a big dude.
I mean, it's Tom Holland. He's hanging from the ceiling. He's a wee little guy. He's Spider-Man.
How tall do you
on.
think Tom Holland is?
If I had to guess,
Do you think he's taller than
like-
Bryce Young?
No, he's probably like 4'6".
No.
I'm kidding. He's probably like average size. He's probably like 5'8".
How tall are you,
That's my
Abdalla?
height.
He's an Abdalla.
5'8".
Yeah,
The
there you
official
go.
height of Tom Holland is 5'7".
I'm
It's a
looking
big
right now.
dude.
Tom Holland's officially 5'8".
It's a big dude.
I'm looking at 5'7".
It's a big
And
dude.
Yeah,
Zendaya 5'9".
It's a big dude.
Claims anywhere between 5'6 and a half and
No.
5'8". So we'll call him 5'7". Yeah.
Here, you want to do
You
this,
can't
Raj?
have a 5'7" James Bond.
Here, you want to do this, Raj? Here's your
It's
idea.
all angles, guys. It's all angles, Abdalla. They shoot him at angles. Sylvester Stallone is short, and he was Rocky and Rambo. You can
Daniel
do
Craig
it.
was Daniel Craig was 5'10".
I will tell you about some angles. If you want to really change up the game, Zendaya will be your next Bond. I'm just saying,
All right.
if you wanted someone who can handle it, she could handle it.
Idris Elba.
Well, he would be great. I agree with
Too
you.
old
That's
now.
a good one.
He's too old. That
He's
needed to
not
be
too
10
old.
years
He's not too
ago.
old.
That
He's
needed
not
to be
too
10
old.
years ago
No.
if they were going to do Idris Elba.
Dude,
It's
Daniel
all about
Craig
Tom
is
Holland now.
65 years old.
Everybody wants a piece of Tom Holland. He's making Spider-Man $100 million. He's making the Odyssey money. Everybody wants
I'll
a
tell you,
piece of Tommy
I do
Holland.
not want a piece. No
No.
piece. No piece of Tom Holland. Raj, he's all yours. You enjoy it.
He's not.
but you-
He's not. He's not mine. He's all of ours, guys.
Listen, if you have a great idea for the next Bond, 310-840-4910. I would love
Starring
to see
Tom Holland.
Raj as James Bond.
No one wants that.
I think that would be great.
I would cede the position to Tom Holland, who naturally has the British accent. Also,
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One. Is that it for over and under?
that's it for over and under, fellas.
You know, I'm surprised is it's The Rock has the one who has made the most in a single year, because I would have thought that Tom Cruise would have been the guy. Although you could probably argue Cruise isn't in enough mega
He's in like
movies
one
that
a
are-
year. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the Mission Impossible franchise is huge, but he's not in any cartoon stuff. He's
No.
not in any Superman stuff or superhero stuff.
Mm-mm.
It's all him.
It's all-
He's the draw.
And it's just one a year.
Yeah, it's, he didn't. Well, didn't he have? Was that not the same summer that Top Gun Maverick came out in the last Mission Impossible movie?
Yeah, but that movie didn't do well.
Oh, okay. All right. Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. Will one of the biggest signings in training camp actually not happen? We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Is Bucs QB Baker Mayfield excited for the season to start?
Hell yeah, I am. I think we're going to shock a lot of people.
There's optimism in Tampa Bay and among fan bases all across the league. We'll be here with you from training camps all the way to Super Bowl 61 on your official home of the NFL, Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Terrion Arnold signed or is expecting to sign with Seattle. He also could end up on the commissioner's exempt list based on his legal situation. He was released by the Lions earlier in this offseason. The Seahawks were like, all right, well, we'll take a flyer on him. But the Seahawks yesterday signed Trayvon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
So if they sign Diggs, is there a place for Arnold in the secondary for the Seahawks? And is it even worth the Seahawks taking a flyer on Arnold when he could end up on the commissioner's exempt list?
Yeah, I think, you just kind of keep him around and he does some working out and maybe you sign him and you give him a contract and then you see where this leads. There was a clip on Hard Knocks where the way we referenced it when we were talking about this the other day, saying it's different when you're the first team and not the second team.
Picking up a player who has issues.
Yeah, their GM was saying, hey, if this was us, we'd have to cut him. If we were the Lions, we'd have to cut him. But there's a difference between being the first team and being the redemption team.
Well, and that's what we were laughing about when the news came out that Seattle was going to bring him in. It's like, what? He was just released.
Yeah. But there's a difference between being the team that cuts him when he's on your team and being the second chance redemption team, because you can sign him to a contract, a very low contract. And if he's on the commissioner's exempt list, then you just say, okay, well, you're on the list. And if he's found guilty or liable for whatever he's, for what he's been charged with, then you just cut bait and then he's gone. And then it's not on your hands, but if he's acquitted, if he's found not guilty, then you sign a very good player.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the NFL. Like, none of this stuff matters to teams as long as you can play well.
Yeah, it's the sad part. It's the reality of the NFL, though, is that, someone else's problem, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
You move forward and you play football, and there are many players who have a redemption arc, or maybe not even the redeeming qualities of the person have changed. I mean, there are dudes who get in trouble and then they just are somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens in the NFL. And we see that from time to time. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Got a story here from Front Office Sports. Kim Kardashian is producing a reality television show about moms whose sons attend an elite baseball school in Arizona. It's called Team Moms Baseball. It will follow families while the kids compete on the field and the drama unfolds in the stands. This is set to debut September 24th on the Paramount Plus network. So Kardashian has a Team Moms baseball show about moms with their sons who play for an elite baseball school in Arizona.
They're going to be fights.
I would imagine that there will be fights. I would imagine there's all kinds of, I'm looking at the picture.
Are they going to be staged?
So on the poster promoting the show Team Moms, the new series, the line at the top of the poster says they didn't come to play.
Oh, there's descriptions of all the families involved.
Oh yeah, is there?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah. There's there's too many to go through, but the Baldries, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Riley Dallas. Oh my God, Riley Ryelee.
Well, what's wrong? You have a problem with the spelling of a name? What's wrong there, Mr. Abdalla?
If you want to win and drink some wine, the Baldries are your family. 150% always. The Dunmars.
Oh, wow, they're always going 150%.
Yeah, the Dunmars. If there's drama on the sidelines.
They add 50% more than you can add.
Yeah. The Dunmars. If there's drama on the sidelines, John is probably involved. If there's plans for a pedicure, he's definitely there.
The dad?
Well, I don't know, man. The Feldhackers, the co-parents who make it look way too easy. Divorced, totally in sync, and enough S names to fill a roster. They're Scott and Stryker Feldhacker. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Scott and Stryker.
Yeah, the Mears.
Baseball is Trish's whole life. Add a professional race car driver dad, and you've got one seriously competitive family.
Oh, yeah.
The Scaffones, the mom who says what everyone else is thinking. Nina brings the tough love.
Oh, I love
with
that.
a little Pilates and tequila on the side.
Okay, a little Pilates and tequila. All right. Wait. Let me. That's going to be. That's the team that we're rooting for.
Okay.
Yeah, Pilates and tequila. I'm all about that.
The Scaffones.
Yeah.
The Taylors, retired at 40 and living their best life. If there's a party, the Taylors are probably throwing it.
Okay.
And finally,
Taylor's house.
The Walzicks, or Walchicks, maybe. Aaron runs the household. Tommy has an instruction manual. She knows where everyone needs to be and keeps the kids in line. We're all alive still. Counts as a successful day.
Okay. So they seem like a little bit of a mess.
I hate this.
Okay. So that's Team Moms Baseball, a new series on Paramount Plus.
Every one of these women has all of the picture words in their house.
Oh,
like every live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Every,
Yeah, well, I mean, of
coffee
course.
first. Don't talk to me till I've had my coffee in the kitchen. all of that crap.
Yeah, I mean, they look, I like in the poster out, like one of the moms looks like she's ready to play ball. She's got the mitt on. She's got the glove ready to go. She's ready to play. There's one holding a bat. Let's see what else. I mean, this is a Kardashian production.
Great.
Team Moms Baseball.
Yeah, they're all carrying Birkin bags and
Of
everything.
course they are.
Yeah,
of course they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their
Where's
faces
this?
are
Arizona?
half their faces are plastic.
Half. All I see in this photo is plastic.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I
So
no.
will you be watching?
No!
It's from the producers of Love Island. Don't you watch that?
No, I don't watch Love Island.
You don't? Oh.
No.
All right. I thought you watched Love Island. I thought that was your jam.
No.
I thought you were all about it. Bleck Abdalla, we'll be back.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago each and every day on the air until 3 Eastern. And then we'll hand it off to Jim Rome in the Jim Rome Show right here on Westwood One Sports. You can always participate in the show. You can call or text us at 310-840-4910. And Abdalla, we're talking football, and there was a huge signing in the offseason off the field. One of the biggest signings off the field in the offseason was Mike Tomlin signing with the NBC broadcast. And when the NBC broadcast first hit the air in this football season for the Hall of Fame game, Tomlin was great.
Mm-hmm.
He was outstanding. But the thing that we've talked about at length here on the show is, sure, Tomlin's going to be good on TV, but at some point, he'll want to go back to coaching.
Maybe.
He's going to want to go back to coaching. He's good enough. He deserves to go back to coaching if he wants to. It's going to be great on TV, but I'm guessing at some point he'll go back to coaching.
He might. Bill Cowher left, never went back to coaching. Same thing. Former Steelers head coach. Everybody wanted him to go back to coaching. Every time there was a coaching opening, Bill Cowher was like the first name that popped up. Can they get Cowher? Can they get Cowher? Right? And he never went back. And he said he's never going back. So, like, Tomlin might never go back. You never know.
Do the same for Jason Garrett. Yeah, the silence. Exactly. Some coaches go into TV because no one wants them back.
Yeah,
I knew there was going to be a silence there.
I said Bill Cowher, Chris.
Bill Cowher.
I said
okay.
Bill Cowher.
All right. I feel like we'll be able to insert that same joke with Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
This upcoming college football season. Like,
yeah.
What I'm still lost at the idea that some executive somewhere think that college football fans want to hear from Mr. Personality, Brian Kelly, during a game. He's going to be calling games on like the CBS Sports Network this upcoming season.
No, thank you.
Who wants that?
No, thank you.
I mean, maybe a team will take him off CBS's hands when they hear the broadcast. Like, here, get off the broadcast. I don't know.
Come on.
So this is the latest. Andrew Marchant covers sports and also the business side and then the broadcasting side. He had this to say on his podcast about the Mike Tomlin deal with NBC.
NBC snares him, big money deal. I think a little backloaded, so they want him to stay. That's an incentive for him to stay. Could he go back to coaching? He says no, but we'll see. I think he'll be under the spotlight.
Okay, so that clip kind of went around yesterday. A lot of people were pointing out the comment there. He thinks it's a little backloaded that NBC convinced Tomlin to stick around and not take a coaching opportunity because they've backloaded the money on his contract with NBC. So maybe it gives them a fighting chance this upcoming offseason because teams are going to sniff. They're going to come knocking. They're going to ask, hey, Mike Tomlin, you want to come coach up our squad?
Yeah.
So is it possible that NBC did backload the contract and Tomlin will stick with NBC for long term?
I don't think the money matters. I just don't. Tomlin's made enough money in his career as a coach. Like, guys do this long enough. The money, I don't think, matters. Plus, another team is going to pay. These coaches make a ton of money now. These coaches are making $10 million a year now. These NFL coaches aren't making $3-4 million a year anymore like they used to. All these NFL coaches are making $10, $11, $12 million a year now. So telling me that, they backloaded the contract so a team can't pry him away. You're telling me that if another team, if a good team, if it doesn't work out for, I think it depends on the team, right? Like, I think it's got to be another historic franchise like the Steelers. I don't think that if it doesn't work out for the Jags and they fire Liam Cohen, I don't think he's going to go coach the Jags. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's got to be a historic franchise where it doesn't work out and they fire their head coach. And that coach has got to be on the hot seat, obviously. And then he moves on. And then they have to have the money to spend. You have to have the capital to go out there and spend the $10 million, $12 million, whatever it would take a year to get Tomlin to coach your team. And I think that and if NBC wants to pay him and say, hey, we'll pay you 15, I don't think $3 million a year is going to make a difference to him, because the drive to coach and win another Super Bowl, if that's something he wants, will keep him on the sideline unless he actually wants, or off the sideline, unless he actually wants to just not coach anymore and he likes the lifestyle of being a broadcaster. Like, if he just enjoys that lifestyle now after a year away and is like, hey, I don't like the grind of coaching anymore. This is so much easier. I lived my life as a coach. I've got to the ring. I've done everything I can in the NFL. I don't want to do it anymore. I like being with my family. I like coming in, doing the game and leaving. Like, this is great.
He did talk about that at the Hall of Fame game, that he enjoyed not having to go to training camp for the first time in like 25 years or something, and not have to be in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, to be there for Steelers camp. So
exactly,
it's possible. All right, a couple of thoughts I have on that. If you want to join the conversation, you can always call us at 310-840-4910. First, based on what the best coaches in the NFL are getting paid now per year, I would find it hard to believe that NBC is paying Mike Tomlin $15 million a year to just be on the desk pregame. Like, he's not even the guy that's on the game broadcast.
Yeah.
Like, top NFL coaches.
Ben Johnson's making $13 million a year.
That's what I'm saying, is like that and up, right? So, like, you've got Andy Reid ahead of him. You have Sean McVay and Shanny, right? Like, so those coaches, you're talking about, you're almost making $15 a year. I would be surprised if that's what NBC is paying Mike Tomlin. So the money side of it, even if NBC backloaded the contract, I don't think they're getting close to what you can make as a head coach in the NFL. Now, there's certainly more job security.
Yeah. Like, McVay's making 15, supposedly.
Right. Like
teams don't have to disclose it, but that's what's out there.
Right. And to my point, like, the job security thing with a head coach, you're, only as good as your record for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Ask Jason Garrett. How's he fared on the NBC desk? He's not in the hot seat.
No.
He's just there.
He's just hanging around.
Not really saying much on the broadcast, but he's there.
Especially now.
Right? But so like, you don't have to worry about the job security, because you just you're kind of just there every other season. I would also say with Mike Tomlin specifically. Now it's my personal preference. I feel like football fans, everyone's a little different, but I actually prefer the coaches on the game in most of my sports. You know, like Hubie Brown calling a basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
I like listening to Hubie Brown. I like the way the coaches explain the game to the viewer. I like that. There are ex-players who are great at it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of ex-players miss the mark, and a lot of them think that it's all about clicks and views and going viral, and that's not interesting to me while I'm watching a game.
Yeah.
So the ex-coaches, to me, are usually the better broadcasters. And again, there are ex-players that are good. But I do feel like with football, the name of America's coach is empty right now. That seat's empty.
Yeah.
It was held by John Madden for years,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the best at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden
was great.
Took that championship belt, and he carried it for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like, both of those former coaches took on the persona of, I'm America's coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to explain the game to those who are unfamiliar. I'm going to give you some tidbits and items for those who are real football fans. And I eat, breathe, drink, live football. Like, I am here to sell football to the American public.
Yeah.
And like, that's what John Madden was. That's what John Gruden was. And I think Mike Tomlin can be that. Like, I feel like I know that right now there isn't an empty chair for him to be the guy in a game broadcast, but like, I kind of feel like that could be out there for Tomlin. Like, you know, instead of going back and coaching, what if he just became that? Like this generation's John Madden? Because he certainly has the charisma and he has the credentials to do it. So like, I feel like that, you know, if we're talking like, hey, we think he'll go back to coaching someday, honestly, I think he would probably be the perfect person to be the next like John Madden for the next 30 years of calling NFL games.
Of course. And I think he'd be great at it. But you're right. There's not like, I don't think Collinsworth is going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
And that's where he's
right?
He's
like
at NBC
he does a good
right
job.
now.
And
So yeah, look,
it seems
Aikman-
like CBS has made the decision that Watt is going to fill into the Romo spot.
Listen, Buck and Aikman's contracts are up this year, but you know, it's Tomlin signed a deal and Aikman said he wants to stay at ESPN. So I don't think that they're going anywhere anytime soon. So we'll see. I just think that it's weird. I think that if the right job became available, Tomlin would be the first phone call. And if it's the right opportunity for the right amount of money, I think he would do it. That doesn't mean that after a full year of being home, of not dealing with the pressure of coaching, that he doesn't want to do it.
Well, sometimes being home, you get the itch.
I was just going to say
when
that
you're
also
home,
doesn't
you're
mean
also,
that after a year of being at home,
you're
that
available.
he doesn't want to be
honey,
on the road.
Honey, there's
I got one
stuff
for
to
you
do.
guys. I got
Hello,
one for
Raj.
you guys.
Parts
Hello,
unknown.
guys. You guys
What
have
do you
brought
have?
up the Cincinnati Bengals a lot this year and Zach Taylor being on the hot seat. If a job like that with a division he has a lot of familiarity with and to be able to coach Joe Burrow and a big contract came up, could that pull him out of the booth?
I think
In this
no
case,
matter
he's not even in the
team.
booth. Could that pull him out of the studio?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Raj, what you're pointing to, what Abdalla's pointing to, I think if there's a team with legitimate quarterback situation and championship aspirations come calling, I think it's certainly possible.
It's got to be
no doubt.
minimum that, right? Like, because if every team calls, like, he's not going to take any. He's at that level, like when Sean Payton went back, or some of the guys who've gone back. Like, they weren't going
that's
back
what I
for
mean.
any
Like,
job.
he's not going to take any job, you know? Like, he's not going to take a high turnover job like the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it this year. Like John Harbaugh, he's essentially at that level.
Yeah.
And he took the Giants.
Exactly.
Like he wasn't, you know, going to a spot, you know, he wasn't jumping through the hoops that the Cleveland organization was getting.
We talked about that during the
candidates to run
search.
through.
That not all 32 are the same. And when you hear them say, "Oh, there's only 32 of these," that's code that's not like a great elite job.
If Mike LaFleur was on the hot seat
Yeah, no.
and the Packers
Oh, yeah.
and
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur, excuse me.
Because Mike
we got
is
two now.
in
We got two now.
Arizona.
That's what I was, because I
We got
just said
two
Arizona.
LaFleurs, and they each have a love. So we're going to have to get to know first names when we're
I know.
talking about them.
If the Packers job was open, that's a job I could see him going to, right?
Yeah.
I could see him
it.
taking the Packers job. That's a historic franchise.
Sure.
You got a quarterback. They're good. Like, I could see him going to the Packers. That's a job I could see him taking.
Raj, what do you make of the idea that Tomlin should become America's coach?
I think you nailed it, that there's a void there. Like when you brought up Madden, I mean, think about how big he is in the cultural part. There are people, me included, that literally learned football from being introduced to his video game and then seeing him broadcast games on TV. My dad, who's an immigrant, always says John Madden taught him football. Like he didn't understand the sport when he moved here, and he would love watching John Madden telestrate on the screen. Like he was America's coach, and no one has filled that void since he left. Nobody.
Yeah, John.
I like
Gruden
it, but he's got to be in the booth
close.
to do it. He can't do it from the pregame. Like you got to be in the booth on the big game. That's how you get that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I wonder if they ever add him as a third to Rico and Collinsworth.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly is possible. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. From the 209, Chad in California, the Kardashian baseball mom show. We were talking about Kardashians are going to produce a new teen mom baseball show about moms and their kids who are playing for an elite travel squad in Arizona baseball. This is what he writes. The Kardashian baseball mom show sounds worse than the Tom Holland James Bond movie.
Agreed.
How about that?
I would rather watch a Tom Holland Bond movie than
there is no way Tom Holland will ever be James Bond.
He's not going to be James Bond.
Clip that. I want to remember this. Clip that.
Oh, Raj, I will not only take you to the movie, I will take you to that Bond movie. I will buy you a very nice steak dinner if Tom Holland is James Bond.
Okay.
I come to Chicago. It'll be my second time in Chicago. My second time there.
No, we're going for a good steak dinner.
Yeah, I will take you to, if that happens, I will definitely
we're all
say I was
a
wrong.
Bleck Abdalla outing to opening night to go see
opening
the
night,
new Bond.
James Bond, as Tom Holland is just running around on the screen.
I want you to find us a way to the
trying
premiere.
to do his little web.
I want you to find us a way to the premiere, and like we're walking in, like Tom Holland's walking in, and you have to like apologize.
See, here's the thing that you guys are missing on this. Is you're thinking about it from an artistic movie standpoint. These are the same types of decision makers that make decisions across entertainment of who we see on our screens instead of highlight shows, who gets musical albums released, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to be looking at a British young actor that is in movies that are doing great at the box office and think he can grow into this, and we can have our, like, they've had other James Bonds, but they've never had a James Bond since like Sean Connery and Roger Moore. Like they could have one that could crank them out for like decades.
What if we told you this, Raj? What if James Bond lived in Indianapolis? What if that?
Well, see, here's the problem with that. I think you could do it in Indianapolis, but we learned yesterday from Adam A. Abdalla that when you go outside of Indianapolis, it's the South. So I don't know if that'd be the right setting.
That is such a Chicago elitist attitude to think that anything southern of Chicago is the South.
I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
I'm not wrong.
That is a wrong take.
Have you been?
I've been to Indy. Yes.
South of Indianapolis?
I mean, if you get to Kentucky, yes. I've been to Kentucky down there.
And it's the South.
On way to Nashville.
And it's the South.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you get to Kentucky, yes, that's the South. I agree with that.
I've been to Whitestown and Brownsburg. It's the South.
Do we think Pat could do a British
all
accent?
week long has just been jamming to the McAfee.
No.
He has been.
He will
He's
text
jamming.
me late at night and he'll be like,
tell
bro,
you, man.
I'm rocking out to this McAfee again.
It will not be in my Spotify Wrapped.
Two songs are stuck in
No.
my head: McAfee and the LeBron song. Thanks to Chris Black.
You and Josh Graham.
The LeBron song is low key great though.
LeBron.
It's outstanding. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We have the summer of football coming up next. Things, facts, stats, information relating to today's date. It's a milestone date in the countdown for the summer of football. We'll tell you about that coming up next. This summer, the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That includes all markets.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. $50 in rewards issued every 7 days via click to claim for 14 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state. Terms at dkng.co/offer. Limited time offer.
Westwood One. The NFC is loaded with questions. Can anyone beat the Rams super team? Will Caleb Williams live up to the hype? Are the Seahawks ready to repeat? We're less than 3 weeks away from the regular season. Buckle up. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We love football here on the Bleck and Abdalla show.
I love the NFL.
Yeah, thank you, Bart Scott. We love the NFL.
I love the NFL.
Yes, absolutely. We love the NFL.
Yep.
It's right around the corner. Football is quickly approaching.
Games tonight.
We have 2 preseason games this evening. The Raiders at the Texans, 8 Eastern on ESPN television. 49ers at Chargers, 10 Eastern, NFL Network. Obviously, the takeaway of the 2 games, or the thing I'm looking forward to the most, watching Fernando Mendoza at quarterback for the Raiders tonight. He should get a lot of runs, so that'll be cool to watch this evening. So we love football here on the show, and we count down the days to the start of the NFL season. Today is a milestone day as we count down the days to the start of this season, as we go to our segment, the Summer of Football.
I proclaim this the Summer of Football! What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
Westwood One Sports, your home for Super Bowl 61, and also the opener of the season, Seahawks and Patriots. Listen to the big games right here on Westwood One Sports. We are now 20 days away from the start of the NFL season. 20 days away from the start of the NFL season. And because we are 20 days away from the NFL season, here in the Summer of Football on Bleck and Abdalla, we have info that you will not get anywhere else for today's topic of the Summer of Football. This is the only place that you will hear this information. Nowhere else will you get this football breakdown that we will have for you here on the Summer of Football. Since we are 20 days away from the NFL opener, we have some fun facts about 20 to highlight here in the Summer of Football.
All right.
Fun facts about 20.
We really should have done this tomorrow when we were 19 days away.
It's 20. 20. It would also make more sense if we had 20 fun facts, but that's not the bit.
Nope.
The bit is not that.
No, why would we do that?
No.
Why would we have 20 fun facts?
Fun facts about 20. And so starting with this, the number 20 has been worn by 7 Hall of Famers.
Okay.
Tying it with number 24.
Okay.
As the most Hall of Famers ever for one number.
Okay.
That's interesting. That's a fun fact. Some notable players who wore 20 in the past. How about one of the best running backs ever? Barry Sanders.
Okay.
Ed Reed wore number 20. Brian Dawkins wore number 20. Rondé Barber wore number 20. A lot of great 20s in NFL history.
You'll never get the other ones.
Okay, so there's 3 others. Huh?
Yeah, you'll never get
3
them.
others.
You'll never get them. You'll never get them. They're all...
I got one. Bulldog McGee from 1956. He was a lineman, a tough dude.
Close, but no. Mel Renfro.
That was on the tip of my tongue.
Lem Barney.
Oh, good old Lem.
And Cliff Battles.
Okay, but I think my made-up name that I came up with wasn't far off.
That's why I said close.
You got positions or just names?
Let's see. Mel Renfro was a defensive back and return specialist for the Cowboys. Lem Barney was a cornerback for the Lions. And Cliff Battles was a running back for the Boston Braves.
Oh, yes. The good old Boston Braves. Do you have any years on the selections
I'd have to
of
click
Hall of
on all
Famers?
of them, and
Okay,
we don't have time for all that.
Yeah, we have too many fun facts about number 20. Okay, another fun fact about 20. Summer of football, Bleck Abdalla. You're not going to get this anywhere else.
No.
Touchbacks on punts now start at the 20-yard line. Used to be kickoffs, too.
All right. They're ruining the game.
How about this fun fact? The 20, I'm going to read word for word what's on the screen. The 20-yard line going in is the red zone.
That is a fact.
Would you like another 20 fact? Fun fact?
I would like another 20 fun fact.
NFL season?
Fun fact.
20 personnel in football is an interesting formation.
20 people on the field at the same time?
No, 2 running backs, no tight ends, 3 wide receivers.
Oh, that's fun.
That's fun.
That is a fun fact.
2 backs, the 2-back set.
Fun fact.
2-back set. And speaking of backs, of the last 20 NFL MVPs, there are only 2 that were not quarterbacks. Those 2 were both running backs. Can you name the running backs? Last 20 NFL MVPs, not quarterbacks. I feel like we've talked about this recently. Didn't we go through?
We talked about
because we were talking about the Heisman Trophy too. That the Heisman Trophy actually there's more flavor when it comes to positions that win the Heisman Trophy than the MVP in the NFL.
Yes,
those 2 running backs are in 2012, Adrian Peterson, in 2006, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yes.
Fun facts about 20. How about that?
Facts about 20.
How about that for the summer of football? 20 days away to the start of the NFL season.
Can't wait. Excited. Matriculating our way through the summer.
That's pretty great. Pretty great. I mean, listen, you want to talk about fun.
That's some fun facts.
And facts, I think those cover it.
Those are both those things.
Yes, they are.
Those are facts, and they were fun.
You know, when you pass the 20 and you're in the red zone, there's a channel named after that called the Red Zone Channel.
Yes, thank you, Raj.
There you go.
Thank you. And
fun facts.
And you guys gave me such crap when I gave you a day of football moments in movies. And this is what we have for our great listeners of the Bleck and Abdalla show today. Is
I don't think
fun
you're framing
facts
that
about 20.
accurately. You had 5 movies and 5 football scenes in non-football movies, but you gave us 6 answers, even though you set the criteria for 5 because you had a tie at number 5. And then also you were very explicit that these were to be non-football movies, football scenes in non-football movies. And then on your own list, you inverted that and you broke it and you had a non-football scene in a football movie. That is why.
Yeah. To address both of those items, one, the tie was because it's essentially the same scene. Point Break and Top Gun Maverick both have beach football scenes. Great scenes. Beach football. That's the topic. Beach football. Boom. Same situation. So I tied both of them together.
However, Abdalla,
Beach
if
football.
you were going to come up with a discussion and you were like, hey, we're going to do a top 5 today, would you, the person who created the concept, not come with 5 answers instead of 6? We could have just done the top 6. And honestly, maybe that would have fit better of like, here are the top 6 football scenes in non-football movies with one exception of a non-football scene in a football movie.
I would have just done 5 and left one of them out. Yeah, I would have just done 5 and not mentioned the 6th one. Yeah.
And the reason the football movie snuck into the list is because it was a great team bonding moment in Varsity Blues. the guys got together and they went to visit their teacher. I mean, they weren't planning on running into their teacher, but sometimes
I hate when that happens.
Things happen, and it was a great bonding moment.
Nobody
in
argues
Varsity
it wasn't.
Blues.
It's just, if Abdalla had come to us
a great
and
moment.
said, hey, I want to do the top 5 football scenes in non-football movies, and you had split like that, I would have bought. Like, oh, he's trying to get creative. No. You set the rules, and then you broke the rules that you set, Christopher.
You know what that's called, Raj? That's called creativity.
Is it?
That's right. That's
Is it?
creativity.
Is it
yes,
Abdalla?
yes, it was. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
That's why they shut down our department at Columbia.
Oh, geez. It's shut down? That's not good.
Well,
I mean,
you know
not
what,
really,
fellas?
but,
I
you
still think those were some fun facts about 20 today with us.
I
being
agree.
creative.
They were
I
too.
thought they were
agree.
fun.
I think
you know
they were
what?
too. I learned about cliff battles.
Here's the key. I think it got us closer to football.
It did.
I think it
A
took
day
time.
closer.
It took time off the clock and it got us closer to football because
Definitely-
right now
Definitely took time off the clock.
we are closer to football than we were at the start of the conversation.
When
definitely
Abdalla
running
was
the
mentioning
ball.
the old time guys, the thought that went through my head was, are these going to be tackles? Because is this from the era where your number
Yeah.
was based on how big you were? And like the smallest dude on the team got 1 and it just like went up from there. So 20 means you're like a tackle. Like that's sort of where I thought he was going.
Raj, I totally agree with you. That's exactly what I was picturing. Whatever I said, Bulldog, McGriff, or whatever the made up name. Like I pictured a dude in a leather helmet.
Yeah.
Number 20, old time guy, lineman. That's what I was picturing.
Just one guy.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. There it is. The summer of football, 20 days away from the start of the NFL season. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. The American Red Cross needs blood donors now. Make your appointment today. Visit redcrossblood.org. Use the blood donor app or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Abdalla, I saw this in the Athletic in college football. They have a tiered list for coaches in college football. So I think what we saw in the last couple of seasons, you know, a lot of people always point to Kirby Smart being the best coach in college football. The Athletic has 2 coaches at the very top in tier number 1. They call it the standard. Those 2 coaches, Kirby Smart is there.
Mm-hmm.
And they also place Kurt Cignetti in the group. So those are the 2 best coaches in college football, Cignetti and Kirby Smart.
Yeah, it's not surprising. They moved Cignetti up from tier 2 to tier 1. Kirby Smart obviously stays in tier 1, but it's not surprising. Those are the 2 best coaches. I think that Cignetti's got a good chance to repeat this year and remain in tier 1, definitely make the playoff. Got a great chance to win the Big Ten again, for sure.
Okay, so in tier 2, there is one by scanning the list that I immediately scoff at, but I wonder if it's going to be the same name that you point out. Here's the list for tier 2. Tier 2 has more names. Established winners is what tier 2 is labeled as. Mario Cristobal with Miami, Ryan Day at Ohio State, Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, James Franklin at Virginia Tech, Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame, Lane Kiffin, LSU, Dan Lanning, Oregon, Steve Sarkisian at Texas, Dabo Sweeney at Clemson, and Kyle Whittingham at Michigan. Those are the tier 2 head coaches.
It's James Franklin.
Yeah, absolutely. You and I are thinking the same exact thing.
James Franklin.
It's James Franklin.
James Franklin. James Franklin can't win big games.
Tier 2, James Franklin?
He can't win big games. Look, because if you go to tier 3 and some of the names we're going to say in tier 3, like if you can't win big games, if you beat all the small schools that you face, and every time you're in a big game, like occasionally you'll win 1 or 2, but when you can't win the big game and that's the reason your school moves on from you, like you don't deserve to be in tier 2. All these other coaches have won big games. They've won national championships or come close. You know, Dabo's won a national championship. Ryan Day's, you know, like he's in the mix for it this year. Marcus Freeman's won big games. You know, I'll even say Kalen DeBoer's won big games. Like Dan Lanning's won big games. Like
it's James Franklin's the odd duck of the
Mario
grouping.
Cristobal was just in a national championship game. They didn't win, but they were in it.
Now, to be fair, what I've read out of Va Tech this offseason is James Franklin has brought in a lot of donor money.
Okay, cool.
He's out there, and they're bringing cash to the party. So
that's not winning
Virginia
games.
Tech in the next couple of years may turn into one of those situations where, you know, I mean, they've had success in the past, right? Beamer ball used to be successful at Virginia Tech.
For sure.
So it's not like it's a totally unknown, untapped place like Indiana is with Cignetti, but I could see Franklin having a lot of success for the Hokies. I could certainly see that.
The success at Virginia Tech is different than the success you're supposed to be having, and he should have had at Penn State.
Yeah, no doubt.
Completely different.
In Tier 3, there's a lot of coaches in Tier 3. So I'm not going to run through all of the names. You know, some of the names in the list, you have like PJ Fleck, you have Sonny Dykes or Eli Drinkowitz or
I like
Matt
Mike Elko
Campbell.
a lot. Mike Elko's in there. I like him a
lot. Lincoln Riley, Tier 3 for USC.
Moves down from Tier 2.
Yeah, I think it's fitting. I think that's exactly where he's at. What was your assessment about James Franklin?
Doesn't win big games.
Doesn't win big games. If Lincoln Riley wanted to be in Tier 2, you got to win some games.
That's why I put James Franklin. I would have moved James Franklin down to Tier 3. That's exactly why I would have done it, because you can't win big games. And that's exactly why Lincoln Riley is down there, because he can't win big games.
So the list also continues into a Tier 4, a bunch of different names. Not really. I don't know if there's really anyone notable in Tier 4 that...
Yeah, I think Brent Venables.
Okay. Yeah.
And he moved up from Tier 6. I didn't know Brent Venables was that far down there.
Yeah, that's pretty... Matt Rule is in Tier 4.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising. I mean, Nebraska really hasn't done anything yet.
I'm just surprised that Brent Venables is that far down there, but...
Signetti and Kirby Smart, the two best coaches in college football. I think Ryan Day could have an argument with that.
I think he can too. I mean, they're the favorite to win this year.
If I had to pick, it's tough. I wanted to say 4, but there's 3 names that jump out at me. If you had to pick a top 4, Signetti, Kirby Smart, pick 2 of the next 3 to put in, okay? Here are the 3 names I'll give you. Ryan Day, Marcus Freeman, Dan Lanning. That's tough, right?
For a game or for my team?
No, for your team, for your program.
For my program?
Because I think all 5 of those guys could have an argument that they're the best coach in college football.
I would probably want... I really like Dan Lanning.
Freeman's great.
I know.
Lanning's great. Ryan Day's very good.
I think I would want Day and Freeman. They've proved it more in bigger situations than Dan Lanning.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Will Anthony Richardson get the chance to become the next Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold? We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Where will the balance of power in the AFC lie? The Bills and Ravens have new coaches. Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix are coming off injuries. The Patriots face a first-place schedule. The regular season kicks off in less than 3 weeks. We're ready. Are you? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Make sure you check out the podcast of the Bleck and Abdalla Show on Apple and on Spotify, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Like and subscribe, new content posted daily, and it's also where the live stream is posted, right there on our YouTube channel. You can watch the show, and you can see Raj from Parts Unknown in Colorado. You can see Bleck and Abdalla in Chicago each and every day. Bleck and Abdalla Show. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you to Raj and Jude for producing today's show. Jim Rome coming up in 13 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. We've talked a lot about quarterbacks needing a second chance. The Sarah McLachlan TV ad is playing, and just for $1 a day or just 10 cents, you can help a quarterback find a new home, and you can really find give a second chance to this sad quarterback looking for, the latest one that's on the commercial, the infomercial that's running is JJ McCarthy. Yeah. Because he's going to need a new home at some point. With that said, we've talked about Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. In their second stint with a new team, they've had a chance. Mm-hmm. And usually what coincides with that is a team that gets it, an offensive-minded coach, and they're getting away from a trash franchise, right? Like specifically with Baker and Darnold, you have the Jets and the Browns. Let me look on the let me look at my research for this upcoming season here. The Jets and the Browns, title contenders? Nope. When was the last time the Jets and the Browns, here in my notes, were title contenders?
Everybody thought the Jets were going to be the first year Aaron Rodgers was there until his Achilles popped.
I was not on that train. I did not buy that one. With that said, the second location, the third location, the opportunity, we've seen quarterbacks develop.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows with J.J. McCarthy? We'll see if Kyler Murray, in his second chance, will he develop? Will he be a very good quarterback? The question then goes to the Colts. Anthony Richardson was drafted very highly. He was also a player coming out of Florida that had very little experience playing the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
He has all the talent in the world. He's got the body. He can run. He can throw the football a country mile.
Freak athlete.
He didn't play a lot of football.
Mm-hmm.
One of the fewest amount of attempts by a college quarterback being selected in the first round of the NFL draft. And he has not been good for the Colts to this point in his career. Now, Colts assistant GM Ed Dodds says that Richardson will remain in Indy with the Colts because they intend to prioritize quarterback depth. So it seems like Richardson will be there with the Colts throughout the season working. In the joint practice with the Patriots yesterday, he went 11 for 14, 145 yards. He also had 53 yards rushing. So I don't know. Is Anthony Richardson the type of player that just needs a lot of development? I kind of look at it like Geno Smith, as far as quarterbacks go, was left for dead. And then like 7-8 years later, Geno Smith turned into a pretty durable, successful quarterback with the Seahawks and then with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's not a high-level starter by any means. But Geno Smith is a lot better now, and his career has turned out a lot better than what we thought it was going to be with the Jets.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, with Anthony Richardson, I think it's wise for the Colts to hang on to him to continue to develop and see if there's something there in the future.
I think the problem is for Anthony Richardson is that he hasn't done himself any favors when it comes to trying to get himself more reps and on another team. You know, like if he was a guy who didn't take himself out of a game because he was tired and needed a breather,
that's still an all-timer.
Like,
I mean, to see an NFL quarterback get up off the ground and then tap the helmet because he needs a breather.
like
I've never seen that before.
You just run
in
the
my life.
ball. You just run the ball once. You know, you hand off.
Hand it off, dude. Dump it off.
Hand it off. You know, that's
lay it
it.
out in the flat to
That's
your back.
it,
Like,
you know?
what?
You don't call yourself out.
I've never seen the tap of the helmet.
So I think that does a lot of damage, and you can rehab your image. Look, he also had like a stretching band pop him in the eye.
That's
Like,
just bad luck.
That's
dude.
a freak athlete again, a freak incident. You know, a freak injury. You know, and so that's a problem, and that's not his problem. You know, that's something that could happen to anybody. It just happened to happen to him, and he's had a lot of injuries. And it seems like every time he starts to develop and starts to play better, another one of these weird injuries or freak injuries will happen to him. And you've got a guy in Daniel Jones last year when he was playing insanely well. They had the best offense in the NFL. I don't know if they'll be able to replicate that this season when Daniel Jones starts the season healthy, coming off of a ruptured Achilles. So we'll see. But if he wants to develop, take this year, develop with the Colts, see if they can trade you somewhere next year. And see if you can do that. See if you can. And if look, Daniel Jones gets hurt at some point in the season, go out there and play and showcase your talent and try to be like Malik Willis and get on a roster next year and be a starter somewhere. Malik Willis is getting an opportunity to start. And if Malik Willis goes out and plays really well for the Dolphins this year, they won't draft a quarterback, right?
Well,
they won't go out there and draft someone.
You say this as if he wasn't trying to.
Well, he was, you know.
I don't think the opportunities were presented to him.
I'm saying that he was trying to play,
But then,
But someone would have to want him to do that.
yeah, but if
I
he
think
goes out
that's
there,
the
and
problem.
if he goes out there and he plays well, someone will want to trade for him.
The best thing that could happen for Anthony Richardson, and I'm not saying this to be negative as far as Daniel Jones goes, the best thing that could happen would be Daniel Jones gets hurt. And then instead of the Colts having to bring in a high school football coach who used to play football in Phillip Rivers, that they could turn to Richardson, and then he gets some run in
get
games that
hurt,
matter,
you know?
and then he can build up that tape with the rest of the league. That because like that's how Malik Willis happened. Malik Willis was a bust with the Titans, goes to the Packers, backup quarterback, gets an opportunity here and there, and every time he played in Green Bay as a backup or in a game where it didn't matter for the standings, so Jordan Love sat, Malik Willis looked competent.
Yeah.
He looked like he could be a starting quarterback. That's what Anthony Richardson needs to do.
Yeah.
He needs to improve enough where we get the reports like we had yesterday. Joint practice looks good.
Plays well.
That's what he needs to do. And if something happens to Daniel Jones, he steps in and the Colts offense doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Because like the major issue to his stock, I guess, is the fact that he was there and they had to go to Phillip Rivers. Now, he dealt with injuries as well last year, but I'm saying like
he couldn't come in and play well.
He needs to be good enough that as a backup, he's proving to the rest of the league that he can get it done. Because Darnold went through that. Baker has gone through that. Really everyone except Kyler. And we'll see if Kyler kind of figures it out with the Vikings.
Yeah, I think he will because Kevin O'Connell's a great head coach and has a history of doing this with quarterbacks for sure.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Make sure you check out the Bleck Abdalla YouTube channel, Bleck Abdalla Show. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next right here on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One Sports.